Hello everybody and welcome back to another SlowWolf casting the match of the day episode of Awesomenauts with yours truly, SlowWolf. Today we're going to be casting the match of the day for July the 19th, 2018, and it's this match ID right here, 4FZPGP0. If you would like to go ahead and watch yourself. Now, with that said, we're going to be watching a game that has Snork, the new character, in it, because I cannot be bothered to play the character any more than I already have. I'll keep that commentary to a minimum, but long story short, I am not going to be maining the character anytime soon, and I think that's the best way I can put it for now. On the red team, we got Tepig playing a Nibs, we got Darling playing a Ulip, and you got Sheriff Lone Star here being, you know, incognito. On the blue team, you have Hell Spawnum playing your Snork Gunk, you got a Ted McPain, and you've got Pai Cuzzo. I don't know, I'm terrible with my Italian. Playing your Vinny and Spike. It's an interesting matchup of teams here, and I would like to go ahead and talk about how the two teams are going to work out over the course of this game. But here's the basic gist. On your red team, you have a lot of lockdown, you have a lot of power. Nibs Ulip does a lot of good work. And then Lone Star just does a decent amount of push. Then on your blue team, I mean, Snork Gunk plus Vinny equals just a lot of dash in and do damage. And then Ted McPain is a lot of push in AoE, so you're not exactly going to be starving for problems here. Tepig has got Ted cornered. Darling's going to go ahead and clinch the deal. Ted is dead. He didn't, like, at that point, Ted, you were right to just back off. Pai Cuzzo, it has decided to go for an interesting first item here with the Clown's Mask. And you know what? Good choice. Really good choice. Hellspawn trying to go in there with that little bit of damage. Goes in there with the slow immediately afterwards to go ahead and follow up. Darling very low. Hellspawn's looking to pick up a kill if possible, but puts himself in imminent danger with all the dinosaurs and ends up dying for that kill, which is not worth it at this point. The red team ahead 2-1 in terms of their kills and deaths and all that nonsense. Speaking of which, you should probably go ahead and put that on the map somewhere. Also, was it F1? It was F1 to get rid of my portrait. Thank goodness. Okay. Not bad, all things considered. Not bad, all things considered, but it could be better. Get rid of this. I'm now no longer a fan of that button. So, how are these two teams going to make out? If I'm going to be honest with you, I think that the blue team tends to have a better makeup overall. It's a bit more synergistic, better team fight, and the AoE means that they can hit more people with it. However, it is also worth mentioning that Nibs is just insanely strong, given the right circumstances. These might not be those right circumstances, but they're dang close. Pai Cuzzo only barely gets away from a good grip into Dinosaur combo. Darling still putting out the most damage on the match, which is why we're continuously following them around. That's how the auto cam works. Whenever there's damage to be dealt, that's where it's going to follow, is whoever's doing the most damage. Tepig doing a ton of work, puts out the orb. Ted very low, is going to have to back off. Pai Cuzzo trying to put out a little bit of damage. Will back away with the Mammoth Sock. The Clown Sock. The Clown Sock? What the heck's wrong with me? The Clown Mask upgrade. Clown Mask is a good pickup here because it's going to stop the Ulip from gripping him as soon as he dashes in. Huge. Absolutely huge for a character like Vinny, who really can't afford to be dying early on to that kind of combo. Mind you, did come very close earlier, but don't worry about it too much. Hellspawn going in, puts out the orbs, and, does a decent amount of damage. Let's go ahead and focus on our Snork Gunk friend for a second here, actually. Snork Gunk is a chaser slash harasser slash support, apparently. I would classify him primarily as a burster slash ganker, but that's me. What that means is he's going to jump in, he's going to do as much damage as he can, and hopefully it's going to be enough to be able to get a kill. It seems like there's two ways to, try playing him, where you dash first and then use your balls afterwards. I think that Hellspawn is of the mindset that you use your balls first, then dash after. That is the correct way to play, as far as I can tell. It tends to be a little bit safer in the sense that you're able to use your balls, it does damage, and you're not using your escape mechanism slash your chasing mechanism first. You're surprising them with the orbs, and then afterwards putting in the amount of damage you need to do. So is Hellspawn going to go ahead and get off that dash there? Absolutely. Will he survive? Just barely. And yeah, Snork Gunk is definitely a character that currently is in a very strange place for me. I think it's going to take some time for people to kind of figure him out. I think it's going to take some time for people to understand how to play him. But orbs first, followed by the snail, seems to be the right way to play him. It's also, in my experience, been super helpful to get regen really early. Like, I go both ranks right out of the gate because it's that good. It's very handy to be able to go, you know what, I now have regen for my 1300 HP unit. So, yeah, definitely do that. And we'll hopefully see some really good plays out of the Snork Gunk this this game. But for now, hey, you know what? I'm just going to be happy if they don't die a whole ton. 1-1 is already a pretty decent way to start off. I know a lot of people that think that Snorkle is overpowered. I'm not sure if I'm in that boat myself personally. I think that Snorkle is maybe a little bit too tricky to call overpowered. He's just a little bit strange. Good airstrike, good damage. That, whoo, Snail Shell is going to go ahead and help solidify at least something there. Vinny will pick up the kill immediately after that good airstrike landing here, and Elspanum, you know, just going to go ahead and push out this top lane. If there's one thing that I really appreciate about the auto cam is that it's telling me who's doing the most damage, and I'm not going to be commentating something that ends up being useless. But at the same time, you missed out on all these cool things that could be happening. On that case, though, we aren't going to miss out on a kill. Hellspawn will pick up the kill very easily. Tepig doing as much damage as possible, but walking into a 3v1 is definitely a risky thing to do. And risky, possibly. Profitable? Yeah, this time the burn damage is enough to be able to actually pick up the kill, which brings us to the first upgrades that we saw picked up on the Nibs. The Eternal Flame. The Eternal Flame is still a very good upgrade, it turns out. Hellspawn putting out some damage with the orbs. We're trying to, will not end up doing so as the orbs spin around fairly uselessly for a second there and then end up doing nothing. Other upgrades that have been picked up. We've got Bouncy Dynamite, damage on Dynamite, and then the super powered Super Bowl, the Super Breed Bowl, that's what it is, for enhanced knockback and all the rest of it. That's actually a great upgrade in this case since it, you know, allows the Bolt to survive an airstrike, a dash, like one of those big nukes. But then on top of that, it also pushes away Snorkle, potentially. It could be very handy. Now, with that said, is this Lone Star using it properly? I'm not so sure. If I'm being completely honest with you, it doesn't seem like that's the case just because he's just putting it out there. He's spamming the bull. That's not what you need to do with that thing. Bull is not a spamming item unless if it's got lowered cooldown and explosive damage on the end of it with like health packs. That's the spam build, and it's a good spam build because it just drops health packs all over the place. And it will do damage no matter what, even if it dies. So, yeah, worth it. Darling putting out a little bit of damage there, helping to protect the team by putting out a stun. Putting out the dinosaurs means that the blue team can't really go in on that. And that's more or less what, you know, Ulip's role is. And it's especially clear that that's his role when the anti-gravity ball is being picked up. So anti-gravity ball is probably the single most important upgrade on that row as far as I'm concerned. You can probably swap that out for the Amber Cane, so that way the dinosaurs move faster, but I really find that the anti-gravity ball is just really good since it allows you to put out a lot of defensive dinosaurs and a lot of offensive dinosaurs that last 17 years. Darling does end up dying as he goes 3v1 for a second there. Hellspawn will just barely survive the Eternal Flame damage there, and Ted will barely miss being trinamited to death by the Lone Star, but that bouncy dynamite is just unfortunately not quite enough to keep to be able to clinch the kill there. Lone Star needs to be a little bit careful here. There's a Vinny and a Snorkle. The two of them can do a lot of damage, but there is some support here in Tepig being invisible, being the scariest Nibs that ever nibsed. It's not the first time that Nibs has been invisible this time either, so I can imagine that just like the first time that Nibs has been invisible, there is potential for good stuff to happen, and unfortunately not this time. The stun and the flame breaths were not quite coordinated properly. Oh, interesting upgrades being picked up by Snorkle here. Decided to go for the spiky shell ball right out of the gate. So now those balls do additional damage right out of the gate. Hellspawn needs to be a little careful. Whoa! Get dunked. Hellspawn picks up the kill on a flip side orb after, you know, being chased a little bit. That's the thing. He is like, Snork can do a lot of damage just by running away like a little baby. It's difficult to chase Snork without taking like upwards of 600 damage early game. So be careful about that. Darling, maybe in a weird spot, needs to be a bit careful. But as far as the auto cam is concerned, maybe not after all. Lone Star's going to go ahead and clear out that bottom lane. Is now going to go ahead up top. Vinny's downstairs doing his thing. Now he's back upstairs. He's trying to get that dash, but will not get it. There's an invisible Ulip. The invisible Ulip comes by, gets the Ted. Out comes the Trinamite. It's not enough, but Paikutsu takes a ton of damage. That Eternal Flame might be enough. There he goes. Toasted by 2 ranks of the Eternal Flame. Well done, Tepig. That's another kill for you. 3-1. It's not often I get to see a Nibs do a lot of good work, but here it is. I'm quite pleased about that. Now, with that said, what other upgrades do we see here? Ted is dying. That might be the lag. I'm unsure. But hopefully he will not die to Eternal Flame. Does have Megaman to help offset that. Hellspawn will float over the bull and not get hit by it, which was kind of to be expected from a character that can float around. He moves a lot like Ix, so if you play a little bit of Ix, then Snorkle should feel right at home, save for the fact that he doesn't do it quite as high or quite as long as Ix can. Out comes the fire, out comes the grip, and down goes Hellspawn, dying almost instantaneously. There's one thing that Snork is very good at doing, by the way, is just being immediately murder-fied. Snork does not have a lot of HP, has 0 survivability really outside of using his sticky snail slightly, his main ability. It's not Shell Bomb. Sticky Snail, that's what it is. He uses Sticky Snail to escape, but it's not a big deal. Pycutso, unfortunately, being completely taken out by a very well-timed gripping gaze. He didn't have the chance to really use his Clown Sock at all, which leads me to believe maybe, just maybe, he should go for Silence Dash as well, but I don't think that's a good plan. If he's going for Clown Sock, good lord, Mammoth Sock with holes is not the same thing as Clown Mask. Wolf, you fool. So Clown Mask is really, really good, but it does mean that he's going to need that. The ideal idea here is to go for the double dash, like max damage Vinny. So you go invisible, you pop up, and then you damage them all for 1,000, and then you run away as fast as you can. Instead, we got Silence Dash. So my first and initial reaction, it's not a bad idea. It really isn't. But I would have recommended against it, since if you were going to go for Silence, it might have been better to go for a build that had made good use of Red Bandana, made good use of the... Actually, just like the soul, like effectively the Healy Mask upgrade on Cloud, so that way every character that's inside the Cloud heals him. He eventually becomes a tanky initiator, and it's really, really great. It's something to be said about a character that's capable of going for pure assassin and also for initiator, and I love Vinny a lot for that. Pycutso's doing a little bit of damage up here. We'll pick up some HP. Looking to get back into this fight, and we'll just kill out some droids instead. It's not a big deal. And honestly, this match is... It's pretty even. 10 minutes in, L damage, the airstrike. Ted picks up a nice kill onto Tepig. Tepig just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, out come the dinosaurs. And I did comment on this earlier, but the red team taking out 2 turrets is really, really strong. I was just talking about all kinds of other stuff instead. I hope you don't mind, honestly. When the topic of conversation takes me, then it takes me wherever it likes to go. It's a date night, and I'm okay with wherever this date night goes. You know, I really like what conversation does for me. Conversation's a very nice person. Takes me to interesting places. I like to honestly hang out with conversation more often, but I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit of a antisocial person, and conversation doesn't find me as often as I'd like it to. This top lane needs to be pushed out a little bit. Pycutso will go ahead, pick up that little bit of extra solar from the droids and move on. Snorkle has now picked up a little bit more tankiness, HP regen, HP pills. Hopefully that allows them to do a little bit more on the whole I want to kill stuff factor. And that's kind of exactly what Snork wants to be doing most of the time. He's a very fast snail slug thing, and his main prerogative is just I want to go around and just dunk people with these snail shells. That's what he wants to be doing. Has he been succeeding in doing that this game? I don't know. I like to check out the damage actually. Damage. Yeah, he has. He's been doing a really good job of it, actually. I should really be paying more attention to that stat. But, like, it's very obvious to me that Hellspawnum has been doing a good job. Tepig lives because Pycutso misses his dash. That's unfortunate. That would have been a very good kill for the Vinny here. Snorkle has now picked up the shield on the orbs. So whenever he uses his orbs now, he gets a shield that lasts for a little while. It's about a 15% shield. So it's not a lot. In fact, it's very small. You know, you take 100 damage, you knock off 15 of that damage, you take 85 instead. But the thing is, at least it's something. And for a low HP unit, hey, you know what? Really, you should just take anything that you're getting at this point. Your priority is still damage first, which they decided to go for in this case with a spiky shell ball, but I approve of this build so far. It seems to me making a lot of sense. Now, I'm wondering how long it's going to take for Hellspawnum to get the damage on the dash. Because the dash does 0 damage base. Oh! Goes in with the slow, goes in with the left clicks. It does a little bit of damage, not enough to get a kill, and everyone's going to back off. It's going to bounce off of one another, except for Tepig, who picks up the kill with the double ranks of Eternal Flame. It's really strong. Tepig's gone full Flame Breath, by the way, and I mean like quality Flame Breath. We've got shield, we've got burn damage, we've got normal damage. Apparently not enough to, you know, keep alive, but it's okay. But currently Nibs' build has been very much just do as much damage as you possibly can. And now it's gone for the blue and orange berries. So whenever you exit the Orb of Omicron, you gain full charges on your everything. That's pretty sweet. Darling is very low. Pycutso almost getting a double kill. Just looking for an opportunity to dash people. If Pycutso plays this properly, you got at least 1 kill. But there could have been a second one there if the Lone Star played it silly. The Lone Star did not play it silly. The Lone Star got HP instead. And honestly, Pycutso, That's a safe decision on your part as well. I probably would have gone in there and tried to steal the creeps, but whatever. Tepig is in a bad spot, but we'll use Orb of Omicron to get out. Using the Fire Breath and then orbing to get out is a safe way to do things. One that I definitely approve of, and I think that a lot of very strong players would approve of. Hellspawn him, invisible. Shows up next to Tepig, just pops the conch junk shells and just... like, that's it. Welcome to the Slam Jam. Speaking of which, Snork's, like, theme, it's definitely the Space Jam theme. It's just, that's what it is. If anybody says otherwise, you can fight me on this, but I don't think anybody's going to say otherwise. Everybody agrees with me here. Darling, taking a lot of damage. That silence dash and everything is something to be careful about. Ted, very low. Just, like, be safe, my dude. We got Hellspawn and Paikutsu still doing their thing here. The blue team in the lead 15 minutes into this game, and things are looking in their way, are looking in their favor. Although, it might be worth mentioning here, just for a half second. I'm going to pause it while I blow my nose. Oh, gee. It's worth mentioning right here that I disagree with this. So, not picking up bag full of goldfish here might cost Vinny his ability to do damage this game. It's 15% damage increase. It's very strong. Just so long as you have a little bit of soul in your pocket, it's great. It's one of the first upgrades I pick up. Alien Abduction Kit is weird. He has 24% damage increase. He could have like a good 39 instead. Hell, he could have that plus the double Seahorse head, which would be even more damage. He's gone for something completely different. It's a very different build. And I'm not sure how well it'll work out, but I hope it works out in their favor. Now, with that said, Paikutsu has decided to go for a build that has full-on dash capability. With, full-on, like, gank cloud. Invisibility, mammoth sock with holes. I actually got it right this time. Thank you. And the cloud mask means that you can just cloud in and hold on. It's going to have to wait for a second. Dash comes out. Everyone's kind of backing out of this one. Red team comes out on top on that exchange. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Hellspawn comes in from behind with the orbs and just murders somebody. Then Paikutsu comes in and supports. That's a dead, very dead Yulip, the poor thing. Paikutsu, that's a lot of damage he just took there. He's almost dead, but there's nothing else to it. Tepig chases maybe a little bit too far, but that bolt to support his teammate is too good. Lone Star saving Tepig big time. If it weren't for that bolt, that'd be the end of Tepig right there for sure. Good job, Lone Star. You've earned an MVP moment for me. Lone Star is now at reduced damage. He's hurt. He got ganked, but he did not die, which is great for him. Congratulations. Still has to head home, though. Be careful. Be safe. Paikutsu's going in. He's got that silence dash. He's got that lifesteal dash. Like, he can harass pretty well with this, but it's not for a ton of damage. And I really find that Vinny does better when he's doing as much damage as possible. Paikutsu gets gazed. He goes ahead, puts on the cloud, which makes him invisible, faster, and he's immune to CC while he's inside of that bubble. Like, it's a good group. Ted's in a bad spot. Needs to get out of there. Paikutsu, puts out the cloud. He's trying to reposition himself in such a way that he can actually do something. Will not find it. Lone Star puts out the dynamite. He's in a bad spot. He gets gripped. Out come the orbs. The orbs hit once. They hit twice. There's one orb left over. Who's going to live here? I don't know. It might not be this Lone Star. Out comes Paikutsu. He's looking for it. He's looking for it. He's out of the cloud. He's not going to find anything. But down here, anything's possible. The dash misses. Paikutsu runs. Tepig, be careful, my dude. He's going to go ahead and put out a Fire Breath. Paikutsu's looking to maybe do some damage here, get some harassment, and will not find it. Hellspawn coming in from the side. The snail shell misses, but the orbs do not. He lands 2 of them onto the Tepig, and then that'll be the end of that damage right there. Paikutsu will land a dash onto Tepig as well, forcing Nibs to send, to maybe say his goodbyes for now and go home. And now comes this Bull. Bull now has the, oh my lord, Lone Star. Yule puts out the gaze. Out comes the fire. Ted is very low, but is it enough? Darling's going to run away and escape. Hellspawn, very low as well. Nibs is maybe looking for a kill here. Out comes the airstrike. It's not going to get anything. Tepig probably wanted to chase, but did not find it. Which is really unfortunate because 2 of them were super low. That could have worked out brilliantly. Oh, well. What I was trying to say earlier was something important, but I don't remember. Right, the Vinny. He's able to, like, use Cloud to kind of escape and do all this other great stuff, but he doesn't have the damage to back it up right now. So we'll have to see how he builds his left click. I'm fully expecting Lone Shark plus, the damage on ability use upgrade. There's stuff going on. Snork goes in, tries to land some damage, will miss it. Lone Star gets hit by an airstrike, but past that, all is well and good on the blue team. They don't have to really worry about anything. The dinosaurs will help with Tepic to rip apart Ted, but Hellspawn coming in from behind it and picking up a kill into Darling. It's 1 for 1 so far. Out comes the dash. Tepic needs to be safe. Will pick up the invisibility, so is safe, but at what cost? When will that change? Hellspawn doing as much damage as possible. Tepic, what are you doing, my dude? You've been silenced. You've orbed in the wrong spot. You are now super dead. Hellspawn will find you. He will dash upon you, and he will style upon you with those conch-dunking shells. So how's this working out so far? You know, Snork's doing pretty well. He's, let's see where he's sitting at. 7-2. Yeah, it's doing really, really well. Not something I necessarily expected, but I like this build so far, and hopefully everybody at home here is enjoying it too. Lone Star taking a decent amount of damage from, you know, the pepper shot that Ted's putting all over him. That's right, that's why I'm calling the machine gun the pepper shot. That sounds like sounds really awful, actually. I have no idea what pepper shot could actually mean. But, doesn't really matter. The point is, Ted's peppering them with bullets. Every once in a while with those machine guns. Out comes the airstrike. It's going to hit Lone Star for about 700 once you factor in the damage over time upgrade that he's got on there. And Ted's got a very odd build. We're going to talk about that anyway. Tepic gets completely collapsed upon. Hellspawn and Vinny are going to go ahead and pick that up. Ted, a little lower than he'd like to be probably. That gaze came out and did a lot of good work. And this blue team is still looking to punch down this bottom turret. It's funny. Despite being ahead, 2 levels ahead actually, they can't seem to push. That's what Snork's really bad at, by the way, is pushing. Sure, he can clear a droid wave. You want to know how much damage he does to turrets? 75%. You know, he does 75% damage. He doesn't do, well, I think it's 75% damage. He does not do a lot of damage to turrets. Okay, his left click is the only thing that hits turrets. Neither of his abilities hit turrets. Just his left click, and it does reduce damage. However much reduced damage it is, but he does reduce damage against those turrets. On top of that, his orbs, they poof. They just vanish whenever they hit turrets. It's rough as far as push is concerned. Plus, there's a couple of other like tiny bugs, which I'm sure that if you go on the forums at all these days, yeah, you know what the bugs are at this point. It's not exactly hard to find out what they are. Out come the orbs. Tepic gets a lot of damage there. Lone Star is just pushing away down here. Getting a lot of good turret damage. He's going to have to be careful. He might get collapsed upon very soon if he's not careful. But, nope, he'll run away. Blue team, do not go the right direction in order to stop him from doing so. And this Lone Star is playing very, very push-centric. It's nice to see, actually. Going around, splitting around the enemy team. He notices that they're behind on experience and can't win in a straight fight. Fine. You just go around everywhere else. Airstrike comes out. That's a double kill for the blue team. Well done, Ted. Holy cow, that was insanely bad. Hellspawn is very low, but not low enough for Tepic to be able to pick up the kill. And now Tepic's in a very bad spot. Needs to be safe. It is easy to find. Paikutsu knows exactly where the nibs is. They're dancing around down there. Like, hold on. Like, this dance is real. He picks up the invis, but will not save them as he gets completely murdered by a very good prediction by the Vinny and Spike. Well done, Paikutsu. Well done indeed. And Ted's just like pushing around up here. It's impressive that despite having a Ted, this is all the push that they had. We're 22 minutes in, and this is all that blue team's done. Speaking of blue team and a whole bunch of upgrades being picked up, here we go. Here's where I was expecting some damage to be picked up, and 0 damage was picked up. Excuse me. Just so you know, okay, Sticky Snail does no damage. So instead of picking up the damage upgrade, Hellspawn has decided that Stun, which is really good, I approve. Red Card Collection, which increases the slowing effect by Sticky Snail by another 15%, which brings it up to a full-on 35%. Okay, fair enough, I approve. And Lifesteal is a better grouping of abilities. I'm not sure how to feel about that. Paikutsu gets a kill onto Tepic, and honestly, I'm going to have to turn off this this nonsense right now because it's too much. But Paikutsu picks up a kill onto Tepic. Lone Star is going to be able to dodge that airstrike and is going to leave right now. Paikutsu comes back in with a dodge, and that's 704 damage. It's certainly nothing to sneeze at. It's full-on a third of Lone Star's HP every time that dash lands. Out come the dinosaurs, but they're aggro dinos. So they also don't do all that much. Darling, very low, needs to be careful and back off immediately before dying here. And now the blue team really seem like they're pushing aggressively. I was complaining earlier about this blue team not being able to really pull off this push despite being, 2 times as many kills ahead of the red team. But here we are. They're finally pushing ahead. They're finally able to actually get this foothold that they need. And, you know, that 2-level advantage is still very much there. Any new items that have been picked up? Yeah, we got grenades. We got the shield on Stim Pack. We've got long-range orb of Omicrons, plus the Snorkle Chew, which is like, what, increase the duration of Dragon Frenzy? Yep. Oh, Paikutsu, very low, but will survive the Ulip Nibs combo, which is, like, let's face it, rare. If you get Nibs then Ulipped, or Ulip and then Nibs, as the case may be, then, like, you should probably die. Darling's going around, just trying to deal with this droid here. Lone Star needs to be careful. It's very low, gets killed by that Ted, who puts out one good shotgun shell to go ahead and pick up that last hit. Hellspawn is going to go downstairs and just clear that bottom lane. And now the blue team with a 3v2 power play are going to go ahead and start pushing in to this red team's base. I'm not sure how this fight's going right now. It seems like Darling's quite low. We'll need to back off. The dinosaurs come out, but at what exact cost? Tepig very, very close to death. We'll pick up those creeps instead. Ted, a little bit low. Darling puts out the as much damage as possible, but will not be able to do very much. Oh my god, Tepig, be careful. That's going to be a kill for Darling. Between all the fire and the dinosaurs, it was too much. And Paikutsu and Hellspawn are going to have to back off. And if they get caught out, they will likely die. So you will probably see them head home very soon, especially this poor Vinny, who has 650 solar to spend. What's he going to pick up? I'd like to see. So we got Sharky and Remorse. That's range, damage, and attack speed. That's a very basic Tommy gun kind of build. And that's fine by me, honestly. I don't mind the Tommy gun build, but it's probably not the build I would have gone for here. It's very safe. It's very passive. And, you know, defensiveness engenders passivity. That's not a thing that you need to encourage, apparently. Out comes a good dash. Out comes Hellspawn with the orb, with the slow. But Hellspawn will give his life in trying to kill Darling here. Paikutsu picking up the last hit on that front. Lone Star, you be careful, my dude. You're about to get chased by the Vinny. He picks up the HP. He should be safe. But that's a 1-for-1 exchange here that the blue team in particular will not be forgetting anytime soon. They can't keep doing that as the exchange rate isn't exactly the same. Paikutsu in a bad spot, but is now invisible. And with that extra move speed and the dash, he's going to go ahead and put himself out practically back up to full very, very quickly. Ted's picked up, what, the movement speed? Yeah, movement speed on Stim Pack while it's active. That's pretty good for him. And Lone Star's gone for Explosive Bull with Lone Star helmet on the, with the Viking helmet on the bull. He's gone Bovinian Postcard, which means he'll be able to put out more dynamites the more often he attacks. But he doesn't have attack speed. He does not have attack speed yet on that left click of his. It would not be the first upgrade I picked up. Ulip's gone for a build. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Honestly, it's not my favorite build. In fact, I would probably say it's a subpar build, but whatever. Ted taking a decent amount of damage. Tepig trying to put out as much damage as he possibly can to get either a kill or like a turret kill at least. But now the collapse is real. The airstrike comes out. Tepig is running away from, like, in sheer terror. But it's not enough. That slow that lasts 2.5 seconds at 35% is just too much. And 26 minutes in, it looks like the blue team is poised to win this. Lone Star, however, does have a unique kit for pushing people off. So, given enough time, out comes the bull. It's pushing people away. It's doing a decent amount of damage. He does not want to put himself anywhere near this. Darling really wants to get a kill here. Wants to put out those dinosaurs to do something useful, but they don't end up doing very much. And the blue team will back off safely at this point. That 2-level lead that they've got is something that they need to protect very carefully. They don't want to lose this game. This is their game to lose. And their choice should be to win. The question is whether or not they can actually execute on that choice and execute on it properly. And the answer is they probably should be able to. Silence Dash comes in, does a lot of good work. Lone Star goes down to Hellspawn, who's now looking to go ahead and clinch this game up. He does a ton of damage. It's like 300 and something per shell every time that it lands. I'm actually going to go ahead and take a look at him for a second here. Do we see orbs? There's orbs. And they're not going to land on anybody. The one time I need them to land on somebody, because I'm just trying to follow what he's doing in terms of damage. Okay? I want to show off this new character without me having to play it. I'm lazy that way. But I do like this build actually quite a lot. It's not a bad build by any stretch. Out come the orbs. The orbs are out. Each one of them is doing 289 damage. That's almost 900 damage of, like, everything. So long as he lands all of the shells. It's not easy to do, but there you have it. Paikutsu will land a dash. It will heal him, sort of. Tepig comes in with a little bit of burst damage. Ted is dead, baby, as Tepig does most of the good damage, but then Lone Star gets the finishing, gets the finishing touch there. On the backside, Hellspawn will pick off Darling, who really can't run away from the sticky snail. Tepig puts out that fireball and will back off as soon as that flame breath comes out. 28 minutes in, 2-level advantage here still for the blue team. Blue team looking really good. And also really, really rich. How are we looking in terms of items right now? Honestly, there's not much else to pick up here. Good dynamite going to come out there. Hell spawn him. He does a lot of damage to Tepig and then will get murdered. Poor Tepig. Like, seriously, the orbs come out and then out comes 900 damage. How much HP does this guy have? 2,500. 2,500? Really? And you die that fast, huh? That's insane. That's really upsetting to me. There must have been something else there that I didn't quite notice. In comes the invisible. In comes the dash. Good amount of damage, no less. Darling gets a decent stun here, but Pycutzer and Hellspawn don't even care about their Ted teammate. Ted is a distraction. Ted is the meme. The meme by which the blue team are going to go ahead and pick up their last turret that they need. This was initially Red's game to win. But over the time, this Snork has gone to the late game. And this is honestly one of the strongest late games I've seen in a character in a long time. Ted taking enough damage that he ends up going down. Tepig now getting completely chased down by this dash that does silence and lifesteal. It's not fair. But that, on the flip side, is going to go ahead and clinch a second kill. Now things are starting to even out. Lone Star puts out the dynamite, puts out the bull, puts out as much damage as he possibly can on this top turret. But Hellspawn coming in from behind, maybe? Nope, not this time. We'll back off instead. Trying to find an angle, but won't find it. Darling pushing out this bottom lane. Hellspawn coming in from behind, but at what cost? Not much cost, honestly. He took a little bit of damage, but he managed to completely deflate that top push. And now the blue team and the red team are fighting on pretty even ground. Lone Star's going to come in and destroy this bottom turret. Hellspawn gets nothing done. But neither does the red team, so it's all good. Everybody starts teleporting back home. Ted's going for that push. This could cost the blue team their entire game if this backfires. If Ted doesn't get out of there alive, and if he dies, it's game over. But it really does depend on the Ted. He's actually in very, very good health, honestly. That Stimpack movement speed is doing a good job. But yeah, if that Ted had gotten caught out there, that would have been the end of him. So out comes a decent amount of damage. Hellspawn him. Needs to be a little bit careful. Good airstrike coming out there from the Ted is going to help get some stuff done. Pycutzer's dash. It's going to clear out some droids. It's not all that important. And we're right back to things. Score is 24-13. It's 30 minutes into this game. It's pretty crazy, actually. And now Lone Star's going for this base, which is really, really scary. Like, why are you going for a base race when you're behind in the race already? Lone Star does end up getting some stuff on this. Oh, my God. I think that the blue team wins on a technicality, really. It's so close. Out comes some dynamite. It's not enough. It's enough. Ted goes down. Ted will live. But by how much? Ted will live, but by how much? No, this red team. Oh, my God. Be careful, guys. Your base, it could be under attack any moment here. Ted goes down. Not yet. And, okay, Hellspawn does eventually get to this blue base. But this blue base is so low. He can't stop it. The Lone Star. The defeat. The ultimate comeback from this red team. Because of this Lone Star MVP. I am not even joking. That's insane. He cleared out enough lanes that the rocket droid was able to just push for like a couple of seconds. And then the blue team didn't respond fast enough. And then they got nearly killed. And then they couldn't deal with this. And then the rocket droid just ended it. That was really good. That was an insane comeback. But did Snorkle do his job? Let's see. Yeah, I'd say he did. He did a ton of work. A ton of good work. If we look at this kill reel for a second, because I can actually do that. Start kill cam reel. If we look at the kill reel, a lot of these kills are going to involve this Snorkle doing his thing. Here's that first kill, nicely done on the head. Look, Snork, he's a good character. Alright, Snork's a fine character that does a decent amount of work. If you play him properly. And I don't think I can. I don't think I'll be maining him anytime soon because I just find him too weird. And I find that a lot of his upgrades are a little bit generic. But it seems as if this build, you know, for whatever it's worth, seems to be doing the trick. Gives him enough survivability that he's actually useful, and, you know, it does enough damage that he does his job. Tepig picks up another kill there onto the Ted. Look, for now, how do I feel about Snorkle? Give him a try yourself. I think he's 10,000 awesome points or something like that if you don't have him. Oh, what a dunk. That was actually really cool. But, yeah, honestly, he's okay. I'm not a fan of him personally. I find that Swiggins does a very similar job. But that's honestly just because I feel like I keep playing him like a Swiggins, and maybe that's my problem. I need to stop doing that. Ooh, that looked like that hurt. For now, I want to say a big thank you for watching. I know that from the last announcer episode that I did, or the last caster episode I did, this isn't necessarily what everyone's looking for in every episode, but that's welcome once in a while. And that if I could produce this as an extra, no one would complain. Nice airstrike, Ted. No one would complain. But for now, honestly, these are great for when I need to do like a late night episode. So I expect to be doing these at least every once in a while here. This kill cam is going to take years. So you know what? Screw it. I'm done with kill cam. We're done. I'll just go ahead and flash up the last items here, the item build here at the end by the end of all this. Boop, 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 boop. So for Snorkgunk, our Snork decided to go for Piggy Bank into 1 rank of Megaman and then Tear Gas, followed by Electric Stun Baton, 1 rank, followed by 2 ranks of Spiky Shell Ball, another rank of Megaman, rank of Power Pills, Snail Slime Container, another rank in Electric Stun Baton, Brain Slug's Helm, more HP, and then went for the stun, the slow increase, and then the HP lifesteal on his snail slime, sticky snail. Just weird ability names. Point is, HP regen, damage, 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 HP, HP, shield, damage, damage reduction on the other team, and then just a whole bunch of other nonsense. At the moment, because of Snorkgunk being brand new, no one knows what the meta is. Just build whatever you want to build and give it a try. Just make sure you pick up the damage upgrades on most of the rows while you're doing it, okay? Thanks for watching. I'll see you folks next time.